Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our webinar on BYOD security. Today, we have Gokulavan and Gokulavan with us from Chennai, CISO Platform Chennai chapter, who would be conducting this webinar. This webinar is going to be an interactive session, so we request all of our audience to keep on giving their responses, queries, and questions in the question box of your webinar control panel. Speaker will address them from time to time or at the end of the session. Over to you, Godhaman and Gokulavan.
Hey, thank you, Sheetal, doing that. And then, hey, thanks, Gokulavan, for joining with us. And hello, everyone. Just a quick introduction about Gokulavan. Gokulavan is currently working as an information security manager and compliance head at Lumina Dynamics. He has got overall 20 years of experience in IT industries, and then he has been a PMP certified. He holds lead auditor ISO 9001, 27001 certified person, and then he's also a seasoned practitioner. To say more about him from a CISO platform entity, I would say he was the first person who will help us in terms of kid cyber security initiative. We have done the first initiative with him. Thank you for that. And he has got more interest in terms of driving and badminton. With that quick note, I will now hand over to Gokulavan to take it forward this session. Over to you, Gokul. Thank you.
Thanks, Gautam, and thanks, Sheetal. Good evening, everyone. It's a beautiful Saturday, and I'm happy to meet you all on this wonderful evening. So, as we all know that due to this pandemic, we are not able to meet in person, which we were doing a couple of months before, whenever there was a CISO platform meeting, which used to happen in Chennai chapter. We all will be happy to join together and then make learning and then share experiences and help each other. So to continue that, now last month I think we had Kavita having this session, as well as thanks to CISO platform who had conducted the virtual events also. And this month I had taken the charge to actually look into BYOD security, and this is going to be a kind of info as well as a kind of interactive playbook at the almost at the end of the session. So I would require all of your attention as well as collaboration for us to make this program success. So BYOD security, that's what today we are going to discuss about, and it's about, in simple terms, convenience versus data security, or profitability versus data security. This is what in a nutshell it's all about. And it evolved like when people started bringing their own devices which they are comfortable with, and that's how this BYOD, bring your own device term, got evolved. And today we'll be looking at the overview, list concerns, why we have to protect, and then considerations and issue list. These are all the things that we will be looking at today. So the issue list is something nothing but a kind of use cases where certain scenarios have been built, which we need to understand, and then we will move into the playbook where it is a collective creation. I had brought in some elements. I would require everybody's experience to actually fill in just a 3 slide, maybe few information, and that will be helpful for all the people who are participating today. Also, CISO platform will be sharing this, so it will be helpful for all other CISOs who are not attended also, and across locations, of course. So with that, moving on to the BYOD security. So basically, if you see, the benefits are like cost savings, employee comfort, uh, maybe more productivity, and since most of the people have gone cloud, so this is also one of the method which can reduce the liabilities and the rental and other things. So these are all the things, and if we see with respect to cons, it is more of data security issues only. So that's where the primarily the cons will reside at. So this is a trend now, very fast catching with the enterprises, and with the pandemic coming into picture, and we all actually frantically went into BYOD model. That's what I can say. So earlier there were so many restrictions around in our in IT as well as ITS industries. Now after this pandemic, definitely there is a phenomenal change in the mentality, and then most of the people have gone to BYOD because number one problem is they most of the systems are desktops, so they were not able to transport them. And second thing is they were not able to procure the laptops or kind of mobile devices which can be easily transported here and there, or they neither they were able to rent. So these are all the issues which forced people to go into a BYOD model. Uh, by and large, it is now active in almost most of the organizations, except those organizations always who are buying laptops for all the employees. So, and with respect to the spends, it is beneficial for the company when not having liabilities. They don't have to rent or purchase. They can just some of the organization the employees are more than happy even without a small kind of payment for the BOD. Some companies are also giving BOD payments. So because they are using the system of the employees, so they are paying also. So this is a kind of win-win situation. So when it comes to data security, of course, there is a big no-no from most of the CISOs. And before saying yes, there are certain solutions and controls that every CISO would like to implement, every information security manager would like to implement, and on this particular BOD model. So that is what more of we are going to discuss today. So the key problem is the personal device accessing the corporate network. That is the key problem. And what happens to the data? So the data owner is more concerned on what is going to happen because it has created a Pandora's box of many problems which could come in short term, or maybe it can reside and then it can come up at any point of time. So this is kind of a data security issue for and it is still a problem with most of the people, but there are certain controls which we can see, but there there could be better controls, and I hope this is where everybody is going to contribute at the end of the session, where if you know a better control or solutions that can be shared here, and then we can make it a playbook at the end of the session. So first of all, before understanding, we understood BYOD. Now BYOD, what are all the in scope and out scope? That's what we have to first. Next thing which we have to demarcate. So in terms of explanation, any device and associated devices that connects with companies, network, client network, or associated network for business reasons, that qualifies under BYOD. And like we all know, laptop, iPad, iPad tabs, mobile phones, storage devices, network connectivity devices. Now this is where it is slightly getting tricky. Smartwatches and IoT connected to BYODs. So nowadays we all know that even IoT attacks are happening, and then there are multiple different uh, technology which are launched by people now and then, and how these are all connecting to the BYOD device that is connecting to the network is again a bigger concern. So these are all some in-scope items that we have to think about. So when it comes to smartwatch, it's just an example where even the email is popping up in the smartwatch where you are saying yes, no. Sometimes even you can uh, click on it and then start say reply and then start speaking so that it types whatever you wanted to and then it sends. So it is basically we are using the data, and we know when it comes to mobile and laptop, the mails are getting downloaded, and then even if we have a VPN where copying and other things are not allowed, all the mails are downloaded. From there you can still copy to your local, and what happens to the data later on, that's where the problems are. So these are all in scope, and this is one food for thought. So without scoping, if we are going for BYOD, this is what will happen. So it's a funny representation which I like from the internet. So just thought of sharing with you guys. And who knows, this may be a fact. I think today MG Hector is there in the market, and then there are many other companies which are already having such internet ready cars. So we don't know whether that also is going to be a part of BYOD in future. We never know. So moving on, concerns about BYOD security. So with some research, I could find that 47% of exit employees leaving company with insider knowledge. This is one bigger problem. And theft or loss. Devices that are getting theft or lost during transit is 44%. Sometimes during servicing also it is lost. So that transit also it is getting lost. And then unauthorized data distribution is around 42%, and lack of control over devices is around 42%, and compliance, impact on compliance, legal, contractual, security, all these complaints are also with some concerns around 40%. So sometimes we don't, as a CISO, we should also read certain legal, contractual engagements that the projects have signed for, because in those certain areas there are very clear instructions already notified that BYOD should not be used. Only the location which is specified in the contract should be connecting to their network. So certain security elements like this are also available in the service agreements and contracts. So as a CISO, we have to be slightly watchful on these elements also. So why do we need protection? So we all know that we never will be able to or the probability of recovering a device which has been stolen or lost is just 7%. So 70 million devices are stolen and then only 7% are recovered. 15% of employees have accessed sensitive data from non-work sanctioned areas. This is another problem. So being at an airport or somewhere in a public area and you just start accessing sensitive data, somebody else behind you are just is just eavesdrop. 54%. Anyway, that is not only for BYOD concern; it is also available with company provided data thing. 54% of organizations don't include BYOD in backup plan, and 65% of companies cannot wipe devices remotely, and 76% of companies do not encrypt mobile devices. So these are all the problems, or why we need protection cases that is going to help us in ensuring that BYOD security is a must, and the policies has to be relooked, revised, and better solutions to be in place, better controls to be in place with the evolving technologies. Again, a food for thought. So, like I mentioned, IoT devices are also getting connected to the home network, and then home network connected to the BYOD. So, this is just a thought how we have to go out for a dinner, the refrigerator is speaking to the stove, just a normal discussion, which from BYOD angle, if we see, these are all IoTs, which in future it is going to be very, very rampant. I mean, these getting connected to the network, and where and how it is going to give a open platform for people or hackers who can exploit those vulnerabilities. So BYOD and IoT, are they dangerous duos? It's a question mark, and of course it will be very soon. Things to be considered. So we have to specify the devices and apps allowed and disallowed whenever there is a BYOD is allowed, and clear instructions on the devices, configuration, etc. Everything has to be uh, jotted down. Then specify security policy for BYOD. Establishing strict security policy for all the devices which enter premises physically, logically, and sometimes certain BYOD devices are there which will never enter the premises. It will directly speak with clients. That also should be considered. And then BYOD service policy and integration. So a clear policy which clearly defines the criteria of the devices, and how with the current policy it is getting integrated as required. These are all also to be mapped. Then service theft and exit strategy. So this is a very, very special attention that we need to give on what happens when the mobile or the mobile device, the BOD device gets is lost or getting theft, and what happens if at all that is being given to a service station. So is it an authorized service station, or it is somebody who is servicing uh, just a normal service shop next door, or has to come to the office to get it serviced? So there are multiple questions. And also, what happens when an employee exits? So we all know that if it is a normal situation, the employee gives the laptop or mobile device that he has been allocated, or the desktop that he leaves at the office. Whereas in this case, this device is his own device, and we have to give it back. And is it with the data? Device owner is the employee, whereas the data owner is the organization. So how these things are going to be? There is a clear problem which is arising in this aspect only, on the data ownership and the device ownership. So that's very, very important that we need to take care. And coming to the some of the issue list, there might be multiple issue lists that you all would have recently uh, experienced, but these are all few issue lists that I wanted to share with you guys. So what happens is, in a company, user X using our personal laptop directly logged into client VPN. So what happens is, client's information security posture assessment tool found that this particular device which is trying to enter is infected. So that is being reported to the company. Now this is the problem because of the BYOD device which is not loosely looked into, and that particular user X is also not coming to the office, so it is not that not things are getting updated. So all these because of all these problems, it is being reported by the client to the company. This is kind of very tricky situation, as well as the face value of the company or the organization is going to go down definitely. So if it happens again and again with one or two users, then definitely the client is going to pull down the project and then say to the organization, unless and until you fix, we are not going to continue, or maybe you lost the project. So it's a very dangerous situation also. And the next issue is user Y using his BYOD took all the codes and transmitted through a kind of model USB, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi to his another device. This is one of the example where loosely spelled policies and implemented policies, and what is happening with the data inside the device, or what the device does with the data from the network where it takes, all those things are not tracked. So that is the reason it is happening, and it is more dangerous because the codes can be simply used by your competitor. So that is second point. And user A dealing with sensitive data had lost his device during transit in an airport, and the device was not encrypted. This is all the more dangerous. So, like I mentioned, there are most of the people knows encryption is very important, and sometimes because of the seniority, or maybe uh, not because of the again and again it is asking the password during every logon. This is the reason few of the senior management team would ask remove the encryption, whereas most of the people have top secret or very confidential information in their laptops or the mobile devices, and if it gets lost and then it is not even encrypted, it is all the more trouble. So there should be some mechanism where all the BYOD devices are encrypted. And user B sharing her personal laptop with kids ended up seeing all the company files stored were deleted from network. This is more and more can happen during the work from home situation. Such kind of real time issues are also there. Of course, there are backups which can bring up, but there is a limit of up to when you can retrieve the backup. So those are all the issues further going to create a problem, because the data creation is time and time is money. So all these issue lists which I shown are real in in reality. It is happening here and there, and there would be definitely much more problems that you all would have experienced also. So some will be funny really, but some will be really painful, and definitely everything is related to data security. So with that, I will move on to the next segment, which is the playbook and collective creation. This is where I want all of you also to participate. Maybe you can give your inputs. There are just three slides. One is Inscope, the other one is uh, important concerns, and the last one is solutions. So I had already filled in certain inputs. So if I can get inputs from you also on the Inscope, and then issues as well as the solutions, I'll be able to fill this slide, and then I can this slide or this presentation is going to be uh, complete in all aspects. So this is where I would like all of your attention to be given. So I will go into the normal mode so that you all can, if at all anything that you have to add, I can also add in the in scope items. If anyone want to speak also, you can let me know. I will try to, with the help of Gautaman or myself, will try to unmute you so that you can share the Inscope item, or you can update that in chat. That's also absolutely no problem. So starting with organization, the employees, organization in the sense all the details and assets of organizations, employees, clients, transmission devices and service providers, devices used for official work and travel, all these are all in scope. Anything that we have to consider for BYOD security that I can add here. I'm seeing some chat. Oh, excellent, Gautam. So thanks for the inputs. Okay, so yeah, Gautam has updated a very valid input. Vendors or contractors. Thanks, Gautam. So also, yeah, Suprakash has given some inputs. ISP, yeah, I ISP is actually maybe vendor or contractor. I think it will be coming under that bucket. So anybody else who would like to give their inputs? Okay, fine, thanks. So that's kind of okay for the Inscope items. And then moving on to, if at all anybody has missed out something and they want to tell me again about Inscope, please type with Inscope and then you can give me the inputs. I can always very well take it forward. Next are the important concerns. Exit of employee with data. Definitely, this is the biggest important concern. And we are sure that it is not going to happen only during the exit. If uh, there are intelligent employees, they will be definitely always keep on copying certain elements or data to their personal area. So it is a perennial thread, not during only exit of data. So it has to be dealt from the beginning till the end. So exit of that employee is currently very loosely dealt. So that's why I had termed it as exit of employee data. Then theft or data loss. So this is another big problem which we all discussed. This is one important concern of the BOD, and you cannot penalize him stating that okay, you lost the device and the worth of data there was this much, and that's why I'm penalizing you. So that's not going to happen because it is kind of win-win situation. He helped you more rather than we helped him. And control of the employee and control of the employee and device. So how we are going to control the employee is only by awareness sessions as well as the NDAs. And device is a bigger concern, and how to control the device is there are certain solutions which are definitely available, but this is also very important. And uh, there could be thought process like whether vulnerability assessment has to be done for every BYOD also. So that level of thinking we have to do. If at all the confidentiality of the data that is dealt by a particular employee who is using a BYOD, then we have to think about vulnerability assessments also. And compliance. So there are certain, like I mentioned, contractual complaints as well as certain other legal aspects which could come in. So these are all certain important concerns that I could think of. So can I have your inputs on the important concerns? It's okay for sharing in chat, as well as it's okay if we are if you want to speak, I can give a handle. I'll try to give a handle. I don't know how it's going to work because it's all new and first time for all of us. Okay, Gautaman is stating sensitive information getting exposed. Exposed due to uh, he is specific on smartwatches, but yes, smartwatches, mobile devices, iPad, everything. It's going to be yes, definitely. But I was thinking whether sensitive information getting exposed due to maybe employee not using the system in a or employee using that in a public place. Okay. Yeah, thanks, Gautaman. That is really helpful. So you added smartwatches, but I just covered the overall items. I hope that will be okay. Yeah, absolutely, Gautaman. Sure. And just looking into okay. So I'm not sure who has typed this. Anusha D. Yeah, Anusha D. Just a moment. I'm having some trouble in. Hi, disallowing social media application and personal devices. Okay. So basically, social media. Yeah. So yeah, Anisha, that's excellent one. Can I say that applications and social media access beyond control? So maybe he might be having any application, yes, like social media applications, any other applications, which could be potential threat to the organizational uh, assets or data. Then Suprakash has informed. Just a moment, I'm trying to. Okay, Suprakash has given an input like potential legal issues. Yeah, that's somewhat is covered in the complaints. So I will say complaints. Sorry for it. Legal, we don't know anything like statutory or contractual. Yeah, yeah, that's. Oh my God! Now I need help from Gaudaman. Gaudaman, this questions in questions actually there are certain things which is popping up, but unfortunately it's very small. I'm not able to read. Very small. Listen, the box is very small. Neither I'm able to. make it big?
Now, sorry to interrupt, Google. Actually, I'll help you out. Can I help you out in that?
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
In the on the rightmost part of your control panel, questions, that bar is there. There would be a small pop-up, a rectangle would be there. If you can just click on it, it would come big screen.
So, okay, I'm trying to learn this thing. Yeah. Con Customer contracts. Yeah. So Prakash, thanks. Risks. Yeah. Okay, thanks. And then next is potential legal issues. Yeah, thanks. I had added disallowing social media by Anusha. Yeah, thanks. And then poor mobile management. Okay. Okay. Thanks, Prakash. And then log monitoring. Manikandan, thank you very much for that. Uh, Absolutely. The log is completely under the control of the person, and then he can play with the logs also. Yeah, absolutely right. And employee working for critical process in enclosed area in office and now how to mitigate the risk from personal use. Okay, this is a question I think I'll have to employee working for critical process in enclosed area in office and now work from home. How to mitigate the risk from personal device? Absolutely, I think it is from Bora. We are going to discuss about that in the solutions part. So I would request you to just be patient for one more slide and then we can go there. And yeah, data security and privacy issues from Suprakash. Yeah, absolutely. Geographical based access in India is not working. Okay. Okay. There is a That's a very good point because certain things, if you closely watch in office, what happens is we create a VLAN and then we connect that VLAN to some other server in our another office server in US, and then that from there we get the proxy and other details, wherein then you will have control of what has to be seen as per the US browsing and then internet guidelines. Whereas if in India certain sites will not work, whereas in Dubai certain sites will not work. So that's one good point. Definitely that is a bigger problem in BYOD. And Prabhakar, thanks Prabhakar. Absolutely, this is a bigger problem. I think in our CISO platform group also we had discussed about this in detail. Some of the people had given some solutions, and at the end, mostly this is still a bigger trouble. Patch management and AV updates. If you are having a patch management happens only if you are connecting to VPN and then you have to enable it or you have to manually do it. Mostly it doesn't happens automatically. AV updates also you have to connect to VPN. If persons are not connecting to VPN, then there is a bigger problem. And if it is a cloud-based AV, then of course it gets downloaded automatically. But still, patch management is a bigger problem. And I don't think most of us had gone to cloud-based AV monitoring. Instead, it is still one console at office, and that looks at how many connected, how many disconnected, how many updated, all those details. So if we open and see now today, I think mostly it is going to be having a very completely different numbers than how it looks in the live scenario. That is live in the sense pre-pandemic scenario. application like camera block inside or within certain period of time. So yeah, thanks. That was from Anusha. Uh, yeah, Anusha. I think Anusha applications and social media access beyond control already had kept that. So that's hope that's covering there. And money content encrypting the data in the device and security encryption and security protocols. Yeah, sure. I think this slide has got more inputs from the team, and thanks for that, team. So let's move on to the solutions part. Last one. There's the last one, wherein Bora had asked one question: what are all the solutions? These are all the few solutions which I could name. Cisco identify services. Of course, here we are not uh, promoting any of the services here. These are all just informations which you could use. According to the spending power, you can go to any of the solutions. Cisco Identify Services Engine ISE, Microsoft Intune, Mobile Ion, Scale Fusion, and Manage Engine. So these are all the few solutions that are uh, really specifically created for or specifically designed for BYOD. I hope you can take note of this and you can do some more research and you can ask for the vendors or demos which will help you if at all the BYOD related solutions you are not implemented. Now coming to the forum again. Now there could be better solutions, there could be free solutions, there could be very cost effective solutions. So just wanted to understand from you people, are there anything multiple solutions which are available apart from these? So that's going to help the community here. Okay, looking forward for some goods. Yeah, some Suprakash, Suprakash is right in saying that these are all some software oriented solutions. He is going to the basic thing which is absolutely right. BOD policy to be defined and implemented. This is the base where you should be having to or you have to start with. Okay, and Gautam has got a solution. Mobile device management (MDM) should be in place. Thanks, Gautam, for that. Okay, that's a absolute very important information from Prabhakar. BDI. Yeah, this could be one of the solution. This is kind of a model in which you can the device which you are using is just a device kind of just a viewing device and everything else happens doesn't there is no other connectivity. Yeah, so Prakash is saying use SSO services to authentication. Okay. Like he is giving an option like use SSO service like OKTA. So that's an additional information. Thanks, Prakash. Okay, this is basics which is missing in the slide, and thanks for the information, Vinod. Awareness broadcast, that too scheduled. Uh, Thanks, Vinod. Okay, Vishal Bora, yeah, yes, the question like employee work for critical process, enclosed area in office now work from home, how to mitigate the risk from the personal device. Uh, there are few options. One is you have to ensure that like how Prabhakar had given the solution, VDA is one solution where you just keep the system at office and the person can use BYOD and then just connect and then does its work. And he cannot do any data copy or other aspects apart from screen grabbing. Screen grabbing also can be stopped, but photo somebody he can take a photo or just take a snap from a mobile device which is outside this network. That is definitely doable. Other than that, this is one of the best option that you can try. Since you mentioned it's a confidential or critical process. Yeah, I think we are fairly done. Any questions? We can any other questions? Otherwise, I can just save these inputs and then we'll share it with the CISO platform. It can be further shared. Yeah, okay, sure. I think with that, questions has come to an end, and I would like to thank everyone who has participated here. And it was like it's not it's kind of interactive participation which I could see, and the audience were always were attentive here, uh, which also I could see, and that's very happy to know. And then I believe that we had shared some good time together, and then some knowledge that I learned from you guys, and then I hope some of the information I shared would definitely is going to help you guys in your office situation or the problems or scenario that is being currently handled by all of us in this pandemic situation. So with that, I would like to thank you guys and stay safe uh, and have a happy weekend. And I would like to thank Sheetal as well and then CISO platform here who had helped us setting up this call. And now I would like to give this handle over to Gaudaman. So he has got certain inputs with respect to our Chennai chapter as well as we want to share few more information according to the time. So thanks team and then over to Gaudaman. Gaudaman, please unmute yourself.
Hello, everyone. We apologize for the certain glitch. We are facing certain technical issues. Please be patient. Our speaker will be back just in a moment.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Gautam, we can hear you.
Okay, great. Sounds good. Sorry about the glitch. Uh, One moment. You able to see my screen?
Yes, Gautam.
Okay, sounds good. I just want to check it. I think I will just quickly go ahead and present it. Uh, I got few things to say. I'll quickly wrap up. What I thought is from this month on, we can start something about news bites. If it's interesting everyone, probably then we can take it forward. Uh, so everyone is able to see my screen, right? Clearly,
Yes.
Google. Okay, great. All right. So I will just take 5 more minutes and see how this goes out. Um, so I've been hearing about this news on the Maze ransomware attack. I thought of quickly touch base on that. So ever since April, I've been hearing all this news. Thought of sharing few updates to you so that it'll be easy for everyone, and you can also be alert. I'm sure everyone would have heard about this Maze ransomware attack. But these guys are existing for more than 1 year as of now. I'm sure uh, every other cybersecurity or every other, they're the trend actually now. Okay, so if you see a lot more, they have been, Maze was identified by someone called Jerome Segura. He's a person who identified it last May. He identified it. Till now, these guys are seems to be on top of each and every attack. So just be cautious with this person, with this Maze ransomware, because I'm going to show you a list of things that the recent past. I'm sure everyone would have read the news, but these are top hits. You see, LG, one of the top electronics organization has been attacked. Xerox Corporation has been attacked. And National Highways Authority of India, they have also been attacked. Cognizant, need not to say. Pitney Bowes is one of a package company, global package company. They have also been attacks because of this person. Because of this group. Comware again is one of affordable internet service. They have also been kind of attacked by this Maze ransomware. The other tools are Automotive and Atlanta Group. They also been hit by them, specifically hit by them. And what they will do is exactly, as you all know, that ransomware is all about getting ransom from all the people once after they encrypt it. So they go ahead and then they will not leave with it. They will go ahead and then ask you for pay money. They'll go and publish it in the internet, and they ensure that you are again forced to pay that amount. And whatever technology they are using it, it is very, very sophisticated, and you will not be able to do a reverse engineering. And even they will even come and threaten you as well. Do not try encrypting it, decrypting it, and pay the money. So I would say that a lot more cases I could see only they're coming through only phishing emails, RTP connections, weak passwords. Only through these channels they're trying to come in. So I thought be aware of this, and I'm seeing a lot more trends on Maze ransomware attacks. We should not pray for all these things as a CISO. We should have govern our organization. I will then quickly, that's all I have got about it, and then I'm quickly jumping on to Chennai chapter updates. Um, so I'm just showing a sheet where this is all committed when because of here. This was all committed to us by all our internal folks. I'm just showing it to you guys because this is all committed by our Chennai community. But I'm not very sure how many people are actively working on it here. So just want to call this out. If anyone else is still working on this, please reach out to me or ping me. I have a separate sheet. I'll give you access so that we can collaborate, and probably we can try to come and present to our community as well. So that will be helpful for everyone. That is one. And to why specifically, I know Barney is working on some of the initiatives, and I'm also closely working on one particular initiative which has been given to me on open source product mapping. This is just a portion of it. Now, the first portion of it, I'm not designing it. I'm just showing this is how the industry works. So for all the security products, they've got very clearly identified, labeled what are the categories and what are the products is available. Likewise, I am trying to working on something on open source tools and products so that it will be useful to all the community members and users as well. Sometimes what happens when the management team is not giving more budgets, probably we can use that. So I'm closely working on it. In case if anyone would like to contribute that, please reach out to me as well. And I just would like to ask few more suggestions from you guys. The first and foremost is just to get a value out of these sessions, because these are not vendor presentation. These are experienced people who are sharing their experiences in resolving a problem. It might be very, very useful so that we can go ahead and implement it. So whenever you present something, if you can go ahead and share that, that'll be really helpful for each and everyone. So for example, in the past, I have given some scripts. Dana has from CTS, he has given templates. Kavita has given it, like Gokulavan was doing a playbook session. That'd be really helpful. But apart from that, if you have any other suggestions, like what I had showed you, that kind of roundup sessions, in case if you have any thought process, just 10 minutes, but it can be helpful for others. So if you have any other suggestions, do let me know. If you can ping me, it'll be really helpful. If not, I can take it offline. And that's all I have got it. Thank you so much. Hey, Sheetal,
Yes, Gokulavan.
we have time, right? We are on time shop. So I'm done from my end.
Okay, okay,
Any,
okay. So I'll
any
just do that.
questions? Yeah, one last question. Any questions, guys? Any suggestions? Yes, if you have got it, please reach out to me or ping me in the group. We have also interacting with CISO platform in making this forum a very structured manner. We will try to say it as much as possible, and then they will be in a position to update you all. Thank you so much, guys. Over to you, Shidal.
Thank you so much, Gadaman. And thank you so much, Gokulavan, for taking out your time and conducting such sessions for everyone. And as for the audience, if you have any questions for our speakers, you can directly contact them or you can contact us at contact@csoplatform.com. And we have a very active WhatsApp group. So if you have any questions post this session, please reach out to us in any way. Thank you for attending. Have a nice day. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you all for joining.
Thank you all. Have a great weekend.